good.
Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. We're on the van here, obviously. It is Thursday, May 8th. This weekend is Mother's Day weekend, and the following weekend is our first Cars and Coffee. And of course, the van is the hauler of the Cars and Coffee, so that is our deadline for getting the van done. But unfortunately for me, I didn't get it done quick enough to get it into the tuner. He's a busy guy. He's got a tight schedule. I was hoping to have this thing done and ready for him a month ago, but that didn't happen. Ran into too many issues. So he is pulling a favor, and he is going to squeeze us in next Tuesday. But we've been waiting for well over a week now. I mean, he gave me a date a week and a half ago of the earliest he can get me in, and that's fine. It's just, it is what it is. So meanwhile, I thought we would work on these flares and chin spoiler and visor for the roof. Now the visor for the roof I'm not sold on. I'm going to paint it, and then I'll decide if it's going to go on. Now some of you guys might be coming over from the Facebook page because I was doing a little complaining about these flares. These things are, I mean, what you're looking at right here, I think it was like $1,200 to have the guy build me all these parts custom for my van, and I'll show you here in a minute what the problem is. Alright, so I ordered these flares of this whole kit like probably a year and a half ago for this van, and I unboxed them, I put it on the van, and I literally just took them off, threw them in the corner because I didn't even know what even to start with these things. But anyway, let me show you what's going on here. So this is obviously the flare, goes around the wheel well. This is the rear driver's side, and this is the only one that actually works. Okay, so what we're looking at here is the mounting surface of how this thing mounts underneath the wheel well of the van. So we're going to look right down the side of this thing. If you imagine, this is the side of the van right here. So this lip goes underneath the wheel well, and then you screw up through that lip into the wheel well, right? Now if you look inside of it, you can see that flange sticking out, you know, a good ½ inch. This one here is the passenger rear one, okay? Again, this is what I did to make it work. See how that sticks out now? This is how they looked originally. If you look down the side of that, I mean, this is where it's supposed to roll underneath and screw up into the wheel well. And you can see that that flange is completely, it doesn't even touch the side of the truck, let alone go under the wheel well to fasten it. So what I had to do is cut chunks, one here, one up there, one down the front. I had to cut this section out in 4 places and then move it out and then refiberglass that all back in to try to give me some sort of mounting surface. And even at that point, I am right on the edge of the wheel well versus, I mean, it's almost, it barely mounts on the van. So here we go again on the, this is passenger side front, same thing. You can see where I did my repair, and if you look right down that flange, it's about a 1/4 inch material. I mean, you can see on my thumb there. There's a 1/4 inch material. That's what you're supposed to fasten to the van with. This one isn't terrible. Look at this one here. There's nothing, absolutely nothing in those areas to mount this to that van anywhere. The only place you could put a screw on this one to hold it onto the van is in this area here. Basically, the rest of this entire thing would literally, you'd have to run a screw through the face of it and into the face of the fender to make this work. So again, I had to cut these sections out, and you can see how far I moved it, a 1/4 inch, and that's as much as I could move it. I needed another 1/4 inch at least, but this made it work. Now I don't know if that was a proper way to repair it. I mean, thinking back now, I could think of 3 other ways I could have done it, but this is the way I started doing it, so that's where we did it. So out of those flares, only 1 flare out of the 4 would actually fasten to the van. As far as the fitment on the wheel well, wasn't terrible. As far as the quality of the fiberglass, I've seen better. And I've worked with a lot of fiberglass over my years. But these things, as far as fastening, do not fit at all without modification. When I say modification, today's Thursday. I started these last Friday. I've been working on these nonstop every day. I've got, I think, 18, 20 hours in them right now just to get them ready for paint. And even then, like I said, the fiberglass was not that great, but There's only one guy that does this, so our hands are kind of tied, but I'm just saying, for that kind of money, you expect better. Anyways, let's get to painting. Enough complaining. All right, so we're all masked up. Actually, no, we're not. There's no masking to do. We are all wiped down, tacked off. Got a cup of probably like a G4, G5. It's a darker sealer because we're going under orange. I don't know what's original on the van because it's 50 years old, but anyways, we're gonna get some sealer put on and get out of here. Okay guys, the sealer is all flashed off and ready to go. So we're going to start with the rear flares. Basically the rear flares are 3 colors, actually 4, but 3 main colors. So we're going to start with the silver and then we'll deal with the rest of it. So basically the top is root beer, the bottom is orange, and they're separated by a 1/4 inch silver pinstripe basically. So we're going to put the silver on first in this area. So the silver's all flashed off now and set up. It's been probably about a half hour. I let it sit for quite a while because I need to make sure it's good and dry so I can handle it. So as you can see, we got the flares back, the rear ones back on the van because we need to transfer this pinstripe onto the flare. I'm not exactly sure how to do it, but 30 3/8 is what we're going to go with. So now we got the basically the separation point from the what we're going to call the root beer brown to the orange. So we're going to put the root beer on. Okay, moving right along. We got the root beer on. It's flashing right now, but the next trick on the van itself, this is black. It's the root beer is highlighted in black. And it's pretty hard to see, but you can just see the slightest little outline of black around the outer edge of it, not the inner edge. And this is actually highlighted also, but we're not spraying that color. So I just got some straight black mixed up in the gun. I'm not going to get the airbrush out for this. It's just a little piece. So I'm just going to tighten the fan up real tight, turn the pressure down, and it just needs a little dusting. So let's go. Like I said, we just need a highlight. So I got the fan tightened up real tight. I'm basically going to paint the masking tape and just let whatever fuzz. I'm going to sneak up on it. Just a little. Well, it's been a good half hour, 45 minutes here. Everything is flashed off. Obviously, we switched the masking around from to cover up the root beer. We left the 1/4 inch tape on there still, so that's once we take that off, that'll leave our silver 1/4 inch fine line. So we got some tangerine orange mixed up in the gun here, and we are going to get some orange done. Alright, we got all the orange put on. Everything's looking good actually. Got everything unmasked here, so basically got a root beer with our black highlight along the edge, silver stripe, orange on the bottom. Everything else just orange, nice and simple. Luckily the front flares, the silver runs right across that top edge. So it only has to be orange. So we got some clear mixed up in the gun. We're going to tack it off, get it shiny. Well, it's Monday, guys. Weekend's gone. We went camping this weekend, so this thing's just kind of sitting here idle. And we have to get this thing pretty much on a trailer by the end of today to go to the tuner first thing tomorrow morning and drop it off. We won't be hanging out there. It's not that kind of shop. So we're just going to drop it off and let him have his fun and do his thing. And I am going to put silicone behind the screws, just a little dab to seal the threads where the bare metal is, but these back flares are coming back off again, so I'm not going to do that to the rears, just to the fronts, because I still plan on not repainting the rear of the van, but I'm going to call it restoring the paint. We're going to re-clear it. This is original 70s lacquer from this door back. So the front is all base clear from when I bought it with the engine fire. That's all been repainted, so that's all clear coated. But the back of the van is still the original lacquer, and it's getting thin, so I'm going to just I'm going to fix a few spots, but I'm not repainting it. I'm going to just fix a few spots on the other side and then re-clear it. So well, we got the flares all wrapped up. Obviously the side pipes are good to go. Got the fronts on, best they're going to be anyways. A little gappy up here yet, but hey, she ain't no show truck, right? And then we also spent probably a good hour and a half. We got the front chin spoiler, splitter, doohickey thingy on it. Fog lights, yes, eventually. I'm probably going to end up taking that back off and just chopping it up and putting in a set of nice LED driving lights, but I'm not going to find anything to fit that opening, so I'm going to order something I like and then make that fitting fit my lights. So, but another day, right? Obviously, driver's side, good to go there. I think we are ready for some wheels and tires and get this thing on the ground, get it washed tomorrow morning. We're going to load it up, get her tuned, right? I was going to rotate the tires, but I don't remember which one is which. I know this one came off the right rear, but the rest of them I have no clue. So we'll just throw them on whatever order it is. Them kind of fit pretty far underneath there, don't they? Yeah, I don't know if I like that. They're sitting pretty far underneath the van. Looks kind of stupid. I got an idea. Hang on. Let's try these fat bastards. Let's see how they look on there. Still can't see. That's a little better. Those are weights hitting, aren't they? by putting the weights right there on that end, very lightly hitting the top of the caliper. So as much as I don't want to put weights on the outside of the rim, I'm going to have to get them off of there. So it is what it is. Get these stick-on ones off of here. Much better. Well, that's it for the van for now, I guess. It's out the tuner. Just dropped it off. He will get to it when he gets to it. Call me when it's done. That's all there is to it. He's not one of those guys that wants you hanging around a shop. I get it. I'm the exact same way. So I'm cool with that. Let him do his thing. Hopefully he doesn't call and say, hey, this thing's junk, or I screwed something up. But it drove on off the trailer fine, turned fine. The power steering actually works really nice. So far, so good. But anyways, we'll head back to the shop here. I'm just going to spend the rest of the day getting stuff cleaned up, put away, and try to get ready for the next project, because this is it for the van, except for I need to deal with the sliding door and put the visor on. But I got a couple days to do that. So anyways, we'll catch up with it when I know something. All right, here's where we're at. He's got a tune in. The van is back on the trailer. It's about 3:30 here. He's got a tune in that should be good enough, but he has we're not getting any signal out of the transmission for the vehicle speed sensor. So the computer does not know that it's moving, so it's not allowing it to shift. Why it's doing that, I don't know. So it's on the trailer. We're heading to Jamie's shop. We're gonna throw it on the drive-on. Then we can jack the back up, and then we're just gonna have to tear into it. It's either vehicle speed sensor's bad in the transmission, which is kind of odd because, well, we don't know. Never driven this car before, the car that it came out of. So we don't know for sure. Or most likely it's a wiring issue. I mean, everything's new as far as the harnesses and stuff, but I just don't know. I am totally guessing right now, and nothing we can do but go out there and troubleshoot it, just run it through and see how it does. So I will check back in when we have some more information, I guess. So hang tight. Well, guys, it's Thursday. Cars and Coffees this Sunday. And it's Thursday, and as you can see, we're back at my shop, and the van is in fact here because it is in fact broken. First things first, if you think I'm doing this for that dramatic we're going to make it thing, we're not. This is 100% a problem, and we don't know what it is. But let me show you what we do know. So Tuesday afternoon, late afternoon, we went to Jamie's shop with it on the trailer, put it up on the hoist, and started just checking pins and plugs and all that stuff. About an hour into it, we found out that, hello, Mr. Computer, body harness, engine harness, transmission harness, okay? So in the transmission harness, top row, third pin from the left, is supposed to put out a 12-volt output to the transmission. Here's 12 volts, do something with this. Transmission takes that 12 volts, runs it through, I can't remember what they call this thing. There's a box on the inside the transmission, whatever, not important today. Sends 12 volts to sensors inside the transmission. Those sensors send information back up to the computer and tell it basically what the turbine speed is, the input shaft speed of the transmission, and what the output speed is, vehicle speed. And then it takes that information and it decides when it needs to shift. This pin is supposed to put out 12 volts. It's putting out 3.7 volts. Why? That's the question. Bad computer. If you run it through Ford's troubleshooting, it basically says replace computer. So, new computer. Ordered this yesterday, which was Wednesday, from a local junkyard, but they couldn't get it done. They said they could probably have it by the end of the day, which they did. But that left me all day doing nothing. So I jumped in my truck and I went to Minnesota and picked up our next project. Another video, right? Got home last night, took this new computer, 13F150, and I plugged it into Super Truck, which is my 13F150. I unplugged that transmission harness. I checked the third pin up on the left, 12 volts. Computer's good, right? So the plan was to go back to Jamie's this morning, Thursday, throw this in the van. No, I'm sorry. Take the van back to Tyler, who's the tuner. He's going to take the program out of that computer, put it in this computer, problem's going to be solved, right? I didn't think so. So, put this computer in the van, check power, top row, third one from the left, 3.7 volts. So obviously it's not the computer, okay? It's something in the van. Is it something I did? I don't know yet. What I did find this morning, me and Jamie spent about 10 minutes on it because he's got a full day of work to do, so he doesn't need me in his way. We started unplugging stuff. We unplugged the engine harness, and the 12 volts came back to this pin. So this is now 12 volts as long as the engine harness is unplugged. So obviously we have something wrong with the engine harness, which again is all brand new, but that doesn't mean nothing. I either have a problem with a sensor, a coil pack. I already unplugged the O2 sensors. That didn't eliminate it, so that's what we're doing today. We're going to pull the engine cover back off. We're going to unplug everything off the engine and basically process of elimination. But I got thinking on the way here, I think I'm going to start with the alternator. Something is drawing so much power from the computer that there's none left to go to the transmission. That's basically all I can come up with. And that's what we're going to find out. So if you want to hang out, let's have some fun. So after looking at the wiring, that alternator is not in that harness. So I'm going to skip that for now. Like I said, I know it's in the engine harness. So we're going to unplug everything off of it and see what it does. I need to pull the fuel pump relay so that thing's not running non-stop. Pin 3, 12.57 volts. So we got what we need. Now we need to figure out who's causing the problem. So I'm going to plug everything in on the back of the motor. Okay, so everything's plugged in on the back of the motor. Knock sensor and pin 3, 12.43 volts. Okay, got to be a coil pack. I believe Jamie unplugged this coil pack already. So I'm going to plug 2 in there. 12.43. 12.43. 12.42. Hopefully it's on this side. That's the easier coil packs to get to. But regardless, I can get to all of them. 12.43. 12.42. 12.42. I'm going to plug this front one back in just to make sure it's not over here. I thought Jamie unplugged it already last time when we were doing this at his shop. 12.42. What is going on? There's only one coil pack left. 12.42. It's not a coil pack. Is it in the fuel pump? $12.10. What? How can it have fixed itself? Not in the power steering. $11.99. All the coil packs are plugged in, everything's plugged back in, and now we don't have a problem. Well, as though I found nothing wrong, it's now showing the correct voltage, so I got the ass end jacked up. Technically, if it's solid, the speedometer should work. But now it don't start. Oh my god. Alright. No, it don't start. Interesting. Alright. I did this at Jamie's yesterday too, with his scanner on it. That's plugged in, that's plugged in, that's plugged in. I mean, it didn't even try to crank, so we have no start signal again. So I'm going to disconnect the battery, let it sit. Check this, make sure everybody plugged in right. No bent pins, everybody's happy. Get some lights on here. Speedometer's working. There's second gear. So what does that tell us? Nothing. I don't like that because that means it can come back whenever it wants. And that's not cool. We know it's something in the coil packs or the sensors on the back of the engine. It doesn't have a misfire, runs fine. Unless something wasn't plugged in tight, then it was, I don't know. You got any ideas, put them in the comments. So seriously, I have no idea. Anyway, I'm gonna go run this thing down the road, see what it does. Alright guys, probably a little loud because I got the engine cover off, but second gear. What the hell? Speedometer works. Definitely doesn't feel good. Yeah, it don't run worth crap. Something's holding the transmission back. Yeah, that runs like shit. Well, I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. It's kind of out of my hands at this point. Everything's plugged in. It starts, it runs. It don't run with a shit. It runs like the parking brakes on. You know what I'm saying? Like you're trying to accelerate and it's just bleh, like somebody's just pulling the van backwards. So I don't think it's not going to be done by Sunday. Honestly, I'm kind of done with it. I think I'm just going to push some bitch back in the other side, put it away for a couple days. The fight's over. It ain't worth trying to get it done by Sunday because I don't think it's. I think it's in the computer. I think she needs some more programming or tuning. But I'm gonna go over a couple other things, see if I see anything stupid. But I mean, it's pretty obvious it's not happy. So I guess we're done here. I gotta get on to another project. I got 4 weeks to get the next project done. It should have been started 4 weeks ago. So this thing is taking up enough of my time. So we're done here. Thanks, guys. Catch you on the next one.